Today we're going to run through PR ideas for a UK accounting company. Specifically, I'm going to use this website or this company, Guerrilla Accounting, as an example. But really, these ideas could be used for any accounting company based in the UK. So I've split my ideas into a few different segments. So the first one is UK national and regional press. The second one is trying to get on the blogs of UK-based companies that serve your audience. And I've split these into limited companies, sole traders, and landlord accounting. And then for R&D tax claims, which is the fourth thing on their menu. So that's the first three things. This is the fourth thing on their menu. I'm looking specifically at UK universities to try and get some coverage and some links on their blogs. So I'll run through how to do each of these. So the first of these is UK newspapers. So if we look at how other accountants have got in UK newspapers, it's generally they generally get it through providing commentary on stuff that's going on in the news. Now, to actually break news in personal finance is quite difficult. Newspapers tend to want to get like the actual facts and figures from either the government themselves or these big financial institutions like Deloitte and stuff like that. But what we can do is offer commentary and analysis on these figures, and you can get coverage that way as like providing expert insight. So an example here is James O'Brien, finance expert from Federal Management, provides a guide on detailing all the tasks you need to complete by the 31st of July. The second one, this is urgent HMRC tax deadline in July could cost homes three grand in fines if missed. And tax guru Andy Wood from Tax Natives has warned the Daily Express that failure could result in major financial consequences with loss of tax credits for fines up to £300. So again, they're not crunching the numbers and creating the news. This is just stuff that's happening in the news, and they're providing commentary. Another example is here. So there have been changes to child benefits, and again, Andy Wood, I think, was the same guy as here. Yeah. So he's provided the commentary, and here urgent HMRC warning is thousands of Brits fined 100 quid despite not owing any tax. And again, we've got commentary from Chris Etherington. So what you want to do is you want to look at when taxes get in the news, and it's sort of like the fastest person first gets there. So ways that you can find out when news is going to break is to look at the Office of National Statistics release calendar, and when these types of things are released, often this gets covered in the news, and you can read it as soon as it comes out and try and provide some sort of commentary. When budgets are announced and taxes change, that's like a big time to try and get some comments in. And also when the Chancellor of the Exchequer kind of says anything about taxes, then you can dip your oar in there and try and get some commentary. The trick here is to make a list of journalists who cover personal finance and taxes, and to have this list ready, so as soon as any news comes out about taxes, you can be one of the first people to get there. And again, like, speed is absolutely key with this. So if you're the first person to get there with a bit of insight, there's a very good chance that you're going to get a mention. So what I'm going to do in a follow-up video to this is actually make this list. So this is going to be part of a playlist, and the second video in the playlist is going to be me making this list of UK personal finance journalists and segmenting it in the right way. So keep your eye out for that. So anyway, that's how I'm going to get the UK newspaper PR for guerrilla accounting. So the next one is to try and get guest articles on the blogs of companies that serve your same audience. So I just looked at Guerrilla Accounting's menu, and I've looked at these top 4 things. So limited company contractor, like freelancer, small business, landlord, and R&D. And I've looked at sole traders as well. So for limited companies, we want to try and get articles on CRMs. So like customer relationship management software, I think they're called. And every single industry has a whole like sub industry of CRM software that is directly targeted at that industry. And what we can pitch is an article, a simple article like 5 tips to run your, let's say, gym business in the most tax efficient way. And so long as we mention in the article that investments in software will come off your profit and be tax deductible, then they'll be happy to publish the article because it's sort of it's telling the audience a reason to buy that software. That's all these articles are. They're just sort of useful articles for that audience that put their software in a good light. So if we pitch them, pitch these companies and say, hey, we'd like to write an article about this. We're qualified to write about it because we're accountants, and we will mention how investing in your software helps people meet this end. Then they will jump at the opportunity for some free content of that ilk. So this is an example of a restaurant CRM or restaurant software. You can see they just give general business advice to restaurants, and we can write an article about running a restaurant in the most tax efficient way. This is a similar one, but for a gym. So we write the same article, but instead of restaurant, it's just about running a gym in the most efficient way. So we can talk about like leasing equipment, how that affects your taxes and stuff like that. And this is one for a dental practice. So again, we can talk about like how to run your dental practice in the most tax efficient way. And again, they've got articles just about how to how to run a dental practice, like business tips for dentists. Okay, so the second group of companies that I would want to get an article on are recruitment agencies. And the article here would be the tax and benefit implications of hiring a first team member. So the article would look a little bit like this. So you talk about like pay your self-employed, employee benefits, all the stuff that a company needs to set up tax-wise in order to make their first hire. And we'll pitch this to recruitment companies that in their blog they write for potential clients. So recruitment companies, you have clients who are the companies who are wanting to hire, and candidates who are the people who are looking for jobs. And some recruitment companies, their blog is clearly targeted towards clients, and some it's clearly targeted towards candidates. So we're going to look for the recruitment companies whose blogs are clearly targeted towards clients. And this is an example of one. It's insightglobal.co.uk. So if we offer to write them an article like this, where it's for this company, they will like this idea because it sort of nudges whoever's reading it towards, they're like, hey, I can jump through these hoops to make this hire, and then I might actually use this company to make that hire. So it's like free marketing for them, and it's free coverage for us. So it's like a win-win-win for all. So this is one example of a company's blog that we'd look for. This is another one. They also write articles about like how to attract talent, and we can write this article for them. And this is just another company that writes these types of articles. So that's like a group of places where we can get coverage. The next one is similar, but it's looking at companies that specifically are looking to match non-UK talent with UK companies. And for them, we can just write an article about the potential tax benefits of hiring offshore workers. So an example of this would be Dynamite Jobs. So it's resources for working remotely. They're looking to attract companies that hire remote workers. So this is an article that's like relevant to them. So again, they'd be happy for us to write an article for their blog here. Jobrack.eu is another company that's looking to connect European candidates to UK or US clients. And again, we can write this type of article for them. And onlinejobs.ph is another one that's looking to connect Philippine talent to generally UK and US employers. So all we'll say is, yeah, like we're a UK based accountant. This will be written for UK based employers, but I think that their target market, there's enough UK people in their target market for them to be happy with this agreement. So the next one is business loan providers. And sorry, business loan providers. And the article that we write is, what is the tax relief on business loans? So, yeah, just the tax relief from business loans. And websites that would take this pitch and have us write the article for them, things like Funding Circle, who provide business loans. They've got their blog is basically just a magazine aimed at small businesses looking to get finance. And since our article is talking about, a good reason to get a business loan because you get tax relief on it, it's plugging their company. So again, they'll be happy to take this. Capilona is another similar website that would take this type of article. And Capify, they also write blogs for small businesses. These blogs that they've replaced like industry magazines pretty much. So, and unlike with industry magazines where you often need to pay to get placements, these ones again, as long as the article that you're pitching can plug the business in question, so it can plug this type of thing, then they will accept such an article, and you can just write on them for free. So looking more at focusing more on the sole trader market now. So we've got public liability insurance companies, and the article that we're going to pitch to them is public liability insurance tax deductible? The answer more or less is yes. So we can say the short answer is yes, but then we can also talk more about the nuances within that. And companies that will take this article are the companies that sell public liability insurance. So this is an example, Go Superscript, who we cover. It's like you can see what their target market is. These are the type of articles that they write in their blog. And yeah, again, because our article talks about one of the benefits of getting public liability insurance, they'll probably accept our pitch and have us and be happy to have us write an article for them. The next one is Tradesman Saver, which is also public liability insurance, but specifically for tradesmen. So we can tweak the pitch in the article slightly to make it more relevant to this target audience and try and get an article here. And we can even try and get on like bigger insurance providers. So AXA would be one. I've actually gotten a placement on AXA before with another client. Again, they have a whole it's almost like a magazine talking to small businesses. So this article would fit in with that magazine. So I can see why, I can see a world where we can get a placement here. The next one would be estate agents. And the article we would write is tips on buying a home when you're self-employed. Estate agents want to sell as many houses as possible. So often unemployed, I've been in this situation. Unemployed, self-employed. And I've been in the situation, I'm self-employed. And the prospect of buying a house is more intimidating when, getting access to a mortgage might be a bit more difficult. But if you offer to write an article about how self-employed people, how it's maybe easier than you think, and B, the strategies that you can do to sort of help you get the capital needed to buy a house. Estate agents would bite your hand off for that type of advice. So you could get on like Zoopla's blog. Again, I've gotten on Zoopla's blog before. You can get on like hunters.com, like Hunter Estate Agents, their blog. And you can even go for like smaller local land estate agents. So like this is an example of a local estate agent in the city I live in, Leeds. They've like got a blog that they publish like every week. So well, maybe not every week, but if they, again, if you can show them how your article can help overcome some potential objections that people might have to using their services, then they will want to publish that article. It's free marketing for them. So that would be the next group of industries that I would target. Now I see that Guerrilla Accounting do landlord and property investor accounting. So the next group of websites that we target are landlord insurance. Sorry, lettings agencies. And the article a pub would pitch is, um, what are the tax benefits or what are the allowable costs against rental income? So, like, what tax relief can landlords get? And then we'll pitch that to lettings agencies like Belvoir. Again, they write articles for landlords, like tips and advice for landlords. Uh, Adobe, oh no, sorry, Abode. Sorry about that. Abode, who do the exact same thing, and Leaders, who also their target market is landlords. They want to write articles giving advice for landlords, and yeah, like we're as accountants, we're best suited to dispense this advice. So if we pitch their marketing people being like, "Can we write this article for your blog?" It serves your target market. It puts you in a good light. There's a good chance they're going to say yes. And there's also landlord. The landlord industry also has its own software, like a whole industry of software products trying to target it. So we could write the same article for companies like Rentilia, they do like, I think it's called inventory management. It's software to manage your rental properties if you have a large portfolio, and they also publish blogs to help landlords. So we could get on here. Landlord Vision is just a competitor of Rentilia, and again, we could pitch this article to them. And since we're an expert on tax, they'll probably be happy to publish it. We can see that they publish guest posts already, so they've done this before. If you look at here, designing a garden for maximum tenant appeal, and yeah, they're linking to. I think one of these links is to like a, yeah, it's to like a golf. Yeah, it's like they're selling golf garden rooms. So yeah, you can write articles and link back to your website on these types of companies. Now the final one is, I saw that you do R&D tax claims, which honestly is something that I'd never heard of before. But it looks like it's special tax claims that you can make if you are working in, if you're sort of, I use this in square quotes, like scientific innovation. And I think the type of people who are likely to be the target market for this are PhDs and postdocs. They might, or after they've done their PhD in like a highly scientific field like chemistry or physics or something, they might start R&D startups. So we could actually try and target the blogs of these universities and try and get in front of these people. I know that a lot of universities only publish articles written by students. But what you can do is either try and find the editors of these blogs on the university's LinkedIn page, or you can try and find the people who wrote the blogs and just try and approach them, being like, "Hey, can we collaborate on an article together for this person's blog, for this university's blog?" And these universities, they're really like authoritative websites, and again, you're getting in front of your ideal target audience when it comes to the R&D tax claims. And the article you can just write is just one that informs people that these R&D tax credits exist, and that if you're coming out of university as like a PhD student or a postdoc, and you want to start an R&D company, then there are tax benefits out there. And again, universities, they want to publish articles that are helpful to their students. And this is an example of an article that is helpful to the student. So again, it's a good it's a good value proposition for them to publish this article. So anyway, here are the ideas that I have for guerrilla accounting, and again, could be applied to any UK accounting company. So we've got the very reactive PR, looking at the UK press. We've got most of it will be trying to get on the blogs of businesses that also serve your market, because that gets you right in front of the people who are going to be your customers. And the final one is for R&D tax credits. I think university blogs would be happy to write about this because, again, like students coming out of universities, especially in STEM fields, who might want to start their own business, they will benefit from this information. So that's just another place where we could get coverage. Anyway, the next video in this playlist is going to be me putting together a media list for this strategy. So that's what's coming up next.